Hi, welcome for our RTL online trainings and placements. In this session, we'll take one simple assignment and we'll discuss how it can be performed. So let me take the Notepad plus plus application. Notepad plus plus will be very helpful whenever we are doing some practice here. So what I want to just do it here is we would like to go for hire employee and make this employee as a manager. And then we want to go for hire employee and assign manager, how to assign the manager to the employees. And then we are going to talk about how to transfer employees. Okay, how to transfer employees from one location to another location. This is a simple assignment we are going to do it. So it's a general question in the interviews they'll ask you. How to hire employee, how you can go for make him as a manager, and then how you can go for transfer an employees from one location to another location. So these are all things they'll be asking in the interviews to find out the way of approaching. It means the way of sequence of steps. Okay. So once we log into the applications, what we required is we need a role called, as I said in our previous sessions, we need the roles called human resource specialist. Human resource specialist role is required whenever we want to go for hire an employee. Whenever we want to go for hire an employees, right? So let's go to here. It is this user is already having human resource specialist role. That's why we are able to find my client groups. Let's go to new person here. Hire employee. Whenever we are hiring an employee, system takes the information at different levels. Identification details, employee person information, employment information, compensation and other, nothing but salary information. Finally, we are going to review the details and go for submit. So the employee we are going to hire at what level? Legal employer. In general, our business language, we call it as a company. In Fusion applications, we call it as a legal employer. Okay. Obviously, when you are going to hire one employee to our company, we'll mention that our company name. Maybe our company can have multiple sister companies, or our enterprise is having multiple companies also, right? Let's say Tata is there. Tata is one of the group having Tata Motors, Tata Telecommunication, Tata Consultancy Services, Tata Power, like the different companies we have, right? That's the reason. So let me take this. We can mention the hire date, either future date or history. We can have the system data. Also, I'm going to put it as this employee, the company has already hired in 1999. And but 1999, we don't have any, hiring actions. That's the reason. We'll put it as 2000. If required a higher action, even in 1919 also, we have to do simple setup. Let me show you. Whenever we choose 1999, we are not getting the action. The reason is by that date, we don't have any action. That's the problem. Okay. So how we can perform this is we have to do the setups. As we discussed, whenever we want to perform the setups, we'll do it in our FSM environment. So we have to go to the task, action, manage action reasons. Action reasons. This is a setup. For new hiring. Let me add one reason here. Old employee. Let's say with active status. Go for submit. Now we want to go with adding this action. So go for configure actions. We already mentioned the reason. Let's go for action here. Hire employee. If we look at hire employee, this is the hiring process, right? Hiring name. And it's valid from which year? 1900. That's the valid from here. Click continue button. These are the different reasons we have with these dates. Okay. Now, if we want to go for add another reason, we can go for add. What is the reason? We have specified its old employee, right? That we can mention. Valid from 1995. Press OK. If I want to restrict for a particular country and for a particular area, we can restrict. Otherwise, we can go for submit. So it will work. Let's go to navigator here. Now, when we go for hire an employee here, new person. Here, hire action, hire is there. So old employee active is there, right? So I'm selecting. Like this, we can go for configure action and action reasons. Whatever we are performing right now, this is a transaction. Who will do this work in the real time? Client employees are going to perform this work. When I say client employees, they're recruiters, HR managers, and HR specialists. These people are going to onboarding members. They are going to hire employee and they are going to fill the details. Whenever they are going to do that transactions, whatever the values you want to populate, we call them as a setups, right? So we call it as a setups. So those values. Right now, I have done one simple setup called action and action reason. Like this, hundreds of setups we have to perform for every module. For every module, we have to do hundreds of setups. That is what actually our job as a functional consultant. Okay. So we have already company details. I'm going to choose the company name as US1 legal entity. This is US1 legal entity is given by Oracle Corporation for practice purpose in our vision instance. Nothing but in our development instance. But whenever we are working in the projects, we don't find this data. There will be empty, zero data will be there. We need to interact with our client, discuss with our client, and configure those company names, country details, address details, branch details, department details, job, position, grade, locations, managers. This is all we are supposed to configure. That's what our functional job in global HR module, first module. Right now, we are just going to do the assignment, right? So that we are just selecting. How about worker number? Do you want to generate a worker number automatically? Yes, person number. There will be two numbers, worker number and person number. Person number is mandatory. So without person number, we cannot go for configure employees in human capital management. But worker number is optional. It's up to the client whether they want to have the worker number on. We'll talk about that whenever that particular topic comes in our training, which is very, very important. Difference between person number and worker number. What are the different methods we have to generate person numbers as well as the worker numbers? This is all. And we'll find person details here, first name and last name. I'm going to mention Kranti Kumar is going to be my manager. So if it is India, we'll find Aadhaar card number. If it is US, we'll find social security number. This is a standard format, 3 digits, hyphen 2 digits, hyphen 4 digits. This is going to have our social security number format. So first tab, we have entered identification details. Click next button. And then we are going to enter employee person information, nothing but employee address. This is employee home address, not office address. We are just trying to capture employee person information, nothing but home address, phone details, email details, marital status, highest education level, citizenship, visa information, passport details of employee, and contacts, employee parent details, or guardian, or brother or sisters, an emergency contact. This information we can go for capture over here. It is right. So whenever we are going to have this information here, it's taking long time. Yeah, it's updated. The moment when we enter the zip code, it takes automatically the remaining fields will be populated. So when we are working with our applications here, the address details, we call it as a geography details. If we are implementing HCM for a particular country, that country codes, city, state, county, other details are fixed right for any client. So that's why this information is going to be updated automatically. That we have to just select from the application over here it is. Okay. Click next button. Actual tab we are going to see now. Employment information. Maximum setups we are going to find here only. Just now we have seen a couple of setups in the first page, 2-3 setups, not more than that. Go to the tab employment information here. When we go for employment information here, we can find the business unit is mandate. Nothing but we have specified legal employer, nothing but company name. And now we are talking about here business unit, nothing but a branch. For which branch you are going to hire this employee? What is the person type, employee or no partner or retired employee? I'm just taking employee. What is the status? Is it active and payroll eligible? Active, no payroll means we just hired an employee, but you cannot run the payroll and you cannot distribute the salary to the employee. It's not possible. Okay, so I'm just mentioning active payroll eligible. It means the employee is active and we can run the payroll. After we run the payroll, then we will be able to, execute salaries and pay the salary to the employee. This all things can be done. And these all are setups. Job grade and all. Right now, I'm just taking some built-in job. So configuration of the jobs are very important. We'll be talking about that, how to do job position, grade ladder, locations, department and all. Right now, I'm just choosing some built-in values. This is all test data, as I said. We don't find in this in the real time. We are supposed to configure. I'll show you how to create one location because our assignment is right now employee is working for so-and-so location. Then we want to go for transfer. We'll see how we can create one simple location setup and how to use that in our transaction. Now here, very important thing, working as manager. Working as a manager. So Mr. Kranti is a manager or employee. So we are just trying to make him as a manager. He is a manager over here. After that, a lot of other information we have like payroll information, provision period and other details. Those are not mandatory right now. Click next button, salary information. This also is not mandatory over here. We'll just go ahead with the review and finally go for close this. Click submit button. Once we hire an employee, how to find out whether it's done successfully or not? Let's go to navigator. Person management is nothing but searching. Kranti Kumar is the employee name, employee, and as well as the manager, both. Sometimes it will take a couple of minutes. We need to wait for some time. You can search with Kumar also. With Kumar, we have multiple names, but we need Kranti Kumar. Okay, let me just check. Yes, we got here Redwood City, and this is person number 6311. Okay, so now we have completed the first transaction, that is hire an employee and make him as a manager. I'm going to hire one more employee and I'm going to assign that employee to him as a manager. Let me go for again same process, navigator, and then go for new person. Here hire an employee. This time I'm just mentioning he's my employee. He's not at all manager, but he's reporting to Mr. Kranti. We'll configure that. Let's say employee name is Snell. Date of birth. I'm not going to enter much information here, person information tab, except work address, and he's working for US1 BU, and let's say he is working as a recruiter. And let's say he is working in New York, or same location, Redwood City, where the manager also is working. Go down. Here we can find manager details. Here we can find the manager information here. So in the manager information, we are going to find out the details here. Expand this. And here manager details we are going to specify. Who is the manager? Kranti. So we are supposed to get the manager here. This is Kranti Kumar. We can say active, and we can configure here different type of managers: line manager, project manager, regional manager, resource manager, legal manager. But client says that I have something called HR manager also, or practice head, or practice manager. Okay. So in that scenario, these values are provided by Oracle, but client is asking one more value here. Then we are supposed to provide. That is another setup. It's another lookup we are supposed to configure. Okay. So right now I'm going to make it as a line manager. Let's say provision period is 2 months, and notice period also I'm going to specify 2 months in case if employer resign. Go down and for payroll related setups. Now we required next button. And go for submit. Let me search whether employee hiring process successfully done or not. It says Sunil Kumar, right? No, it's not. Yes, 6312 is our new employee, Sunil Kumar. He is reporting to Mr. Kranti. So click on the employee name, we can find details here. Now go down. Here we will come to know who is the manager. For example, right now the task is, if we look at our next task, we have completed the second. Next, we want to transfer an employee from one location to another location. Now, Mr. Sunil is working in which location? Redwood City. Okay. So today only he has joined in our company. Okay. What's the date? Hiring date is 12th January 2023. Now, what client is telling, we would like to transfer this employee from February 1st. February 1st onwards, he must go to some other location. Let's say Sony sales location, which is there in somewhere. So now we'll discuss how to create a location. Then transfer employee. There are two ways we can go for transfer. One is as an admin, another one is as a manager. As an admin, we can do transfer. As a manager, admin is nothing but human resource specialist. Right now, this employee is HR specialist. That's why he is able to view all the details, right? From the person management, he can search all the employees. But in the real time, it's not going to be like that. The people, whoever is coming to so-and-so business unit, whoever is working as so-and-so business unit, they should access only that particular business unit data or that particular department data, or whoever is reporting to him, only that information they can access. They should not access other information. So whenever we want to transfer, two things we can do, either by admin or as a manager. Okay. So right now, if you want to do it as an admin, we'll do it from here. So we can go for update. And what's the requirement now? Location transfer, yeah, location change. You can do that. Here it is. But this is not the way of doing it here because Sunil is reporting to Mr. Kranti. Kranti is the manager. So only manager has to do the transfer. Okay, we'll do that way also. So what I'm trying to do, let me cancel here. Now we want to do simple setup. What is that? We want to create a location. So let me go to our FSM environment, setup and maintenance. I want to go for create a location. While creating the location, system will ask you, do you want to make this location available for all the business units or not? Do you want to make it available for all the business units or not? Now I want to make it as available for all the business units. So that what happened? While creating the location, we have to choose common reference data set. So this reference data set concept is very, very important. Simple, not much complex. So now we are going to select common reference data set. We got some issue here. To wait. Let me go for refresh the page. It's okay. We are able to access. Now go for create location. So very important field I'll show you. For 4 objects, there are number of objects which are controlled by reference data set, but a human capital management will find 4 objects which are under the control of this reference data set. Out of 4, this is one called location. So I selected this location is associated with common set. Common set means it's associated with all the business units. Okay. So I'm going to specify Sony New York sales office. Go down. So we entered all the details, click review button. Go for submit. Now the location has created successfully. Okay, this is how to create a location. While creating location, we have specified it's a common set. It means your location is global. All the business unit employees can access your location. Okay. Now, what is the task we want to do? We want to transfer an employee to that particular location. I want to transfer as a manager. So first manager should log in to the application and he has to go for transfer this employee. So what I'll do is we need a user account for the manager, right? Generally, what happened when you hire an employee, by default, one username will be assigned by the employee, by the system automatically. Go to person management. Now we want to work with the manager, right? Let's go for Kranti Kumar here. How to find whether user account is created for this employee or not. Go to task list here. Here we'll find this employee options setups, payroll setups, compensation setups. This is global HR, personal and employment, right? Now here we can find user account. Click on this user account. Now what system is showing? It's showing that this username is already generated, status is active. There are some built-in roles are assigned that we don't require actually. We'll see how to remove those roles. Now this is the username, kumar.prant. Copy this username. Which environment will go for reset the password? Security console. That's what in our previous session we have discussed, right? Go to security console. Go to users tab here. This is active and it's not logged. We are going to reset the password for this manager account. And let me go for delete the roles which are not required for this employee. Go for edit. Now, this all roles I don't want. Okay, so employee role is default because it's required for every employee. Employee role is default. It's needed for every employee. Let's go for add another role. Line manager, because he's a manager, right? We have to add another role called line manager. So by default, Mr. Kranti is an employee and also is a manager. Let's go for save and close.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, please go ahead.
When we are adding line managers, we are getting so many options. So what we need to add for that?
You can choose any role.
Means which abstract copy, extract, and
Copy we should not use. Any of these two we can go for use. Not a problem.
have same request, something same responsibilities of both options.
Yes, we can use no issue.
Thank you.
So two roles we have assigned for an employee. Now this is our username. Click done button. Now manager is going to log in. Log out from current user. Manager is going to log in here. Once any employee log in, if we want to know whether the roles has been populated for this employee or not. We have to go to navigator, and here we can find. Here we can find this is our employee role. This is me, nothing but self-employee role we have. And then we can find my client groups, but anyway, it's not required. These all are basic rules, basic information. We don't find any other options over here. It is okay. Yeah. So now this is our employee role, basic employee role. So when employee go to navigator, self-information, employee can access self-information. Here it is. Personal details, family and emergency information, contact information, document of records. Document of records means employee certificates, awards, educational qualification details. Is all we will find. Employment information, additional assignment information. Yeah. Here it's showing that he is working for so-and-so company, means so-and-so legal employer, business unit and title. Anyone is reporting to him. Mr. Sunil Kumar is the recruiter. He is reporting to him. Employee salary information, employee history details. This is all we will find over here. Okay. Yes. But we are not getting the line manager roles. If you look at, I'm not getting the line manager role, but we have added the role. Line manager role we have added, but it is not populated because we have selected a wrong line manager role. We are supposed to verify here. Sometimes what happened when we are working here, we'll find the same role with two different codes. Okay, so generally these two roles will be populated and in fact it will be updated, but sometimes the roles will not populate. So what we have to do, we have to take always PER underscore whatever the base is there instead of ORA that we are supposed to choose. Now search employee. Now the problem is here, this role ORA line manager is not. The role name is line manager, but code is starting with ORA. This is not working. Maybe Oracle is not refreshed that properly, but then we have to go for standard. So whenever we search with line manager, see line manager, this way. Okay. So ORA means it's Oracle base role. This is the base role. Sometimes what happened, it will be refreshed. So directly we can use, but always try to prefer the base one, PR. PR stands for persons. Okay. This all will be discussing in the security. Whenever we are talking about the roles, security roles, data roles, different types like abstract role, job role, this all we will be talking about this later. So now the two roles has been populated, employee and line manager. Well, let's go for it. And now employee is going to log in. Go to navigator. It's still not populated. Take some time. You're supposed to get my team. There is a label called my team. My team is nothing but a line manager role. Let me just log out and log in again. Still we are in employee role here. Me means like personal information. This is for pay slips, employee pay slips. Employee can apply for a leave here, absence. Employee can go for learning. In case if learning module is implemented, employees can access the courses and all here. Time and volunteering, nothing but a voting. These all are self-service, employee features. We'll find here it is self-service. Employee features we can find. Yes, we got a tab called My Team. This navigator and this springboard, we call this as a springboard. Both are same. We don't find any difference. Here it will show as a menu. Here it will show as a graphical format. That's all, not more than that. Go to My Team. Now go to My Team option. If we add the line manager role, then manager will be able to access this tab and he can find the workers who are reporting to him. Now, employee wants to transfer. Now, manager wants to transfer this employee to different location. So here we can see almost all the actions can be performed. Change location. Now, manager is going to change Mr. Sunil Kumar location. If he want to add any comments and attachments, he can go for do that. When does the location change start? It should be from February 1st, right? What is the way to change the location? Why are you changing the location? Say employee has requested, but we are getting only three options, right? Relocation, reorganization, worker request. Now client is telling I need one more value called manager request or project requirement. Two more fields, two more values we need here. So in that scenario, what we will do is we'll do the setup again. We have to go for add the values. So right now I'm choosing worker request, when and why, and then what is the location. Sony, right? We created Sony New York sales office. This is what the setup we have done. Okay. And we enabled that. We want to give some comments and attachments for this transfer. So these are the comments we are trying to perform as per worker request. Transfer. Please find worker request document attachment. Go for sir. Like this, manager will transfer the employees. So there are two ways we can transfer. One is as an admin, we can do it from person management. Another one is as an manager, we can also transfer this employee. Okay. Now just log out and log in. Generally transfers, we can set the approvals also for the transfers. That we will be discussing in approval management, how it can be done. Just log out and log in. We don't need to log out and log in actually. We just wanted to get refresh the application. My team. Go to my team here. Sunil Kumar is still reporting to me only, but just I have changed the location. Still is reporting to me only. still is in this location, Redwood City, not yet completed. Transfer process is not completed. Where do we find, generally, if you are an admin, we'll find from console, transaction console. But manager cannot find that. Let me log in as an admin. I can see the status of the transfer. Tools menu, there is an option transaction console. Whenever you perform some transaction, you want to see that status of that one, we can find. I think this user also does not have the access for that. Yes, transaction console, tools menu, transaction console. Remove this failed filter. Sony New York sales office. Create location. That's fine. Create location done successfully. And we just wanted to verify the transfer is done successfully. Still is in Redwood City only. Transfer. Let me check the approvals here. Are there any approvals for this? These all are setups only. Whenever we are working in the support project, we will be facing this type of issues. They'll say that we transferred an employee, it's not done. So can you please cross-check that? We need to do all the verifications here. Transfer an employee. Manage employment. So approval is not required for this. Sort approval only. Transaction summary. Why this Yes, now it is approved. Location, there is no approvals over here. Here we can find now the approval. It takes some time. That's not enough different. So though the location has changed successfully, we have to just go for refresh again. We can set up the approvals also. That's again approval management. Different approvals we will find for that here. Yeah, it will take some time to get approval. If we verify from admin, we can find. Let me just log out from here. And admin is trying to go to our tab, My Client Groups, Person Management, and search for Mr. Sunil. Check the location, Sunil. Yeah. The problem is, I'll show you what is the problem. Today is 12th January 23, right? But if you search February 1st, because we have transferred an employee to another location, which is effective from February 1st. This is very, very important. Most of the times we'll lose our valid time, right? So here, select by February 1st onwards, where will be the Mr. Sunil Kumar. This location. See, this location. But actually what we are trying to do is we are trying to search today with today date, 12th January 2023. Okay. So that's how we can find. Sometimes we'll be getting confused or we may forget these dates. We call it as a date track. We'll find that the differences between the update and corrections and all here it is. So this is a general setup. As we are working in our HR consultant, they may ask us, can you just go for configure this setup? And if we click history, it will shows that what was the join date for this employee and what is the current here, this date. So first 12th January 23, we have hired an employee and then we have changed the location. Okay. So this is how we can go for perform our assignment. Like this, we have to do number of assignments to become as strong. But this has to be done after completion of our basic training. Once you are perfect, the basic training with all our setups and transactions and testing, then we have to take different scenarios like this and we have to do that particular task. So that will come to know, okay, what we are doing and what it will be affected. When the requirement comes, how we have to differentiate this and then we have to complete. Okay, thank you.